When our damage actually gets to be put on display, it's really nice, but sadly it doesn't get too often enough. That was the only dangerous parts. Dangerous parts of the bosses, we need defense for bosses and shit. I gotta make sure I put my hat piece on, right? I might still be using the XP one. No, we're good. I mean, our defense and resistance could be better, but not the worst. Not what it used to be. we just could have grinded more. I'm worried about getting 2-shot. Gotta make sure to use the right elements too. Alright. There's some boss who uses every single element, I'm sure. The ultimate experience. Me! Random JoJo's enemy. Fucking on guard, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? The princess. I'm good, I just want to ride over him. Nice, my dude. Overload. What the fuck? Anything that has attack for like a really long time. Well, the game's probably gonna do multiple final bosses. I doubt this will be the only one, but maybe this guy's just gonna be like really long with like a mass load of phases. It looks like that's how he is, but. Hello? Yeah. Looks the buffs only last for like a minute, man. Some buffs are kind of like lame in this. No, you just can't get to him at all, man. I was punching him earlier. Great. Out of fucking elemental as usual. I don't even know why they have overload. It doesn't even feel like that interesting of a mechanic. Like, I'd rather them just go really gung-ho on the element swapping requirements than like have this overload where you just stop playing for a bit. Like, some of these bosses you just can't even do anything to. Oh, I see. Oh, good. Because the overload doesn't go down if you have like the thing equipped, which kind of sucks, weenie. So you have to sit in neutral to even bring it back down anyways. What the fuck? Boys, man. Can I get this boss to glitch out like the last boss where he soft locked the game, man? That'd be cool as fuck, dude. Is he right now, dude? What? I either fall off or I take the hit, dude. Fucking that's interesting. Return the slab. Good. Good, I'm getting infinite juggled because he's fucking standing on the ledge. What the fuck is going on? I'm up here now, dude. This camera is fucking bad, dude. How does that even happen, man? How do you playtest and the camera stays like that? Insane, man. Thought I'd slide right in, man. I like how the buffs lasted for a super inconsequential amount of time. Like I'm gonna take a chance of getting hit just to slap on some 15% buffs, man, all the time. I love electricity attacks for that reason. Oops. Trying to get to the other side, man. The overload. Nice, dude. Love getting... Look at the fucking radius on these, dude. Are you shitting me, dude? The real experience begins now, man. Checkpointless experience too, man. Angelic symbolism. My final boss. Nice, dude. Guess we gotta fight that dude every single time, then. Let's just get hit by every single one of them. We can get more behind this boss, man. This is actually entertaining. Whoa. long fucking boss, man. To rise even further beyond, man. Yeah, like Super Saiyan, man. Orbs shit again. How long do I have to wait to get attacked? Oh, my attack's 32, the boss's HP is like a million. What? No puzzles, please. Do not ruin this fight. For God's sakes. Try fucking one boss without some puzzles, man. Just give it a rumble, man. We're gonna do puzzles, just make them quick, man. Quick and simple to understand on the first go, man. We're gonna do every single fucking element, man. Come on, man. Oops. All that just so we could fucking do 1 damage to him. Nice visual fucking cluster shit there. Nice, dude. What the fuck is going on here, dude? What the hell was the point of the bottom, then? Let's use like lightning or something? Dude, this visual is bad, man. I can't even tell what's going on, dude. Somehow we're dodging shit, though. Yeah, that's probably what they intended. It's good stuff. Oh, I see it. This is the opposite. Of course. That's what we did in the last ones, but the puzzles, that thing can go both ways is the problem. I wasn't 100% sure. We're not at the right level of clicker heroes. Oh, maybe we are. Might have had it. We didn't do shit. I think we just hit his trunk the whole time. It's a problem. Oh, you have to. It's not fucking that long. Okay. These are like passive HP regen can handle just touching these things with the right resistances. We got a little extra damage off there. Look, we keep hitting the trunk, man. Like fucking A, I'm trying to charge in, but it just stops and hits the first thing, which is the trunk, instead of passing through. I think we moved on to the next phase, though. Okay. What the fuck? Great, I'm burning. Where the fuck is it even going on? Dude, this fucking cheesy final phase, man. My fucking eyes, yeah. You're fucking telling me, my dude. Holy sheep shit. I almost fucking didn't make it in the last second. I hope that's it, dude. How did the stream hold up, man? How blurry did it look and all that? If it can make it through that, it can make it through anything, man. My fucking eyes! Ah! I mean, I'm sure there are times you just can't see, but as long as a lot of it's not from the fucking stream quality. Was it crisp? Wow. Good. This weeb dude. I hope his head just fucking explodes or his like brain gets fried from the deal. This is the guy we just fought, by the way. Don't forget they're made of like pretty much styrofoam. He's strong. His fucking final line, dude. Kino, man. It's time for me to log out. Amazing, dude. It's pretty shit until that, man. Instant fucking 10 out of 10 suicide, dude. That's a real person, by the way, not an avatar. So he's dead, Jim. No, the CEO, man. Surprised we got that on the first try, man. Switching to the right element for the job for resistances is something I've never really done until like then. KDkill. Kirito. Parentheses, CEO. Oh. Maybe he's not so bad, man. Is that what they're trying to tell me? It was all over anyways, it's spoiling. Awesome. Sergey ain't having it, dude. You can't just walk away. Punish Sergey, man. What are you gonna do, man? Let's get backtrace his ass, dude. Push out his avatar. That was a good boss, though. It was actually decent. I think it made a good use of somehow even the puzzles because it kept it light. It wasn't like fucking stupid. It was just a little bit of everything. You know, you didn't overkill cheap damages. Like you could dodge a lot of it. You can mitigate most of the damage using your form switches and shit. I think that was a good way to like showcase every part of the game there. Surprisingly, they make it like a really good one when like half of them are dog shit, man. That's alright. Not dog shit. Half of them are kind of whatever, right? But that one was good. Good final dungeons. Good end of the game, man. Maybe the story's fine. So far. Hopefully we don't have some dumb like, I must sacrifice myself to save my friends. She doesn't know much, does she, man? She's probably the worst character. I'm just saying something. She's just like unnecessarily angry at everybody and acts like an idiot. At least characters tell her she acts like an idiot. Yahoo, dude. We got Sergey talking here, man. Yo, dude, the bass guy. I found a new friend. Fucking Yahoo, dude. based fucking funny man. Yahoo! Big GM lady. Sweet dreams, motherfucker. Delete it! Delete this! Story for like 2/3 of it was kind of whatever, but I think the most best part about the story in the last third is they actually made it make like some sense. Like the world's, you know, like real, but it's like players and the memories and shit. And like somebody would do like corporate espionage with like copying people's memories and like another thing than torturing it. Like surprisingly makes sense for a fucking random ass RPG plotline. I mean, some of it was whatever, some of the characters were whatever, but rare that the end is better than like the beginning of the game, so that's good. Overall was solid. The gameplay was cool. It was at its best though when you got the level 3 moves. The dodging felt fucking wonky sometimes. Visual clutter, depth perception, real big problem. Like holy shit. Like, that's why it's like weird to dodge shit sometimes. Jumping puzzles are really weird to fucking do sometimes. I mean, blocking was cool, but I don't know. I think they needed to have some way that you could like see your iframes or make it like more, I don't know. Maybe it's just the attacks the enemies do. Usually there's so much shit going on. You end up tanking it more than anything. Kind of makes a glass cannon build harder to do. Because you're not going to be able to just like dodge through shit. Cosmos. But overall it was fun. I definitely had the most fun with the combat in the end. Which you think would be getting old by then, but it got better when you got more focus going and SP. The dungeons were cool. It was a cool change of pace. Some mechanics were hit or miss in the dungeons. Fire one was a little too long, and a few of the puzzles were just like convoluted. They're just like long instead of like clever. Could have just cut some of that. Because usually you do these long ones after like an hour or two of like, you know, dozens of puzzles, and you're like, ah. But not a big deal. I appreciated the puzzles for the most part. I really didn't expect as many little mechanics and ways to do puzzles as they put in, so that's cool. Shooting shit off of walls was fun. I feel like it would have been better with the mouse. I mean, it was totally fine with the stick. A lot of side quests, which was cool. Most of them were pretty whatever, but some of them had like bosses in different areas you went to. They weren't like totally mindless. And the ones that were, you would just get anyways. Exploration was probably the meat of the game, it felt like. The chests and shit. The chests felt pretty fucking underwhelming half the time. Like, getting them was really fun, but like what you got from them was good in the final zone. Half the time you're just like, hey, I got 4 biscuits. Reminds me of food. Food was stupid. Like, I'm glad you could do the heals and shit, and it became pretty essential by the end, but the buffs, like, I don't know. You have to take, like, a risk to even eat it, or, like, a small buff, and then you have to also farm shit to make them. It's kinda... You just don't even want to do it. So I just heal. Because what if you get fucking chunked after eating a buff, and then you got, like, 10 seconds to wait to do a heal, you know? It's like, there's just, like, this risk-reward for buffs, and I just don't think it outweighs the risk to do it. I just heal. Yeah, most areas were cool. The desert, a couple of the bits in the jungle. There's way too many fucking chests that were like, you had to go like 5 rooms away and find a singular point to branch off to 10 different chests and do all these crazy jump puzzles and stuff. I think maybe like making them more like the last area, the first area, Autumn's Fall. I think making them more like that. Even Bergen Trail, which wasn't the best, but it was cool enough. Making them more kind of max, maybe like 1 room would connect in, and it was more just you have to figure out shit within the room. They're more contained, which I thought was fun. That's why Sapphire Ridge was probably my favorite zone. I thought the puzzles there, the trickiness of moving around and shit was just enough, just complicated enough where it just feels fun. The rewards were good from the chests. It was cool. Enemies, there's some shitters. I surprised half the enemies made it in that they did. I thought they really fucking had a problem with. They wanted to make. They either made like a gimmicky enemy, which were usually okay, or they just made enemies that just teleported around you, or you couldn't touch them for long periods of time. I think an enemy where you just have to wait for like upwards of like 6 to 7 seconds to do anything on, it's really bad. Like the sharks were fucking horrible. The anglerfisher were okay. Some of those dudes who teleport around were kind of annoying. If you could catch them out early, like the cats, that's fine, but some of them are just like, oh, Windchuck Attacks is based, man. That guy's a cool ass streamer. He's been around since the beginning. But yeah, a lot of them are just kind of, I don't know. Some of them were cool, but the only enemy I was impressed with was actually the final boss. Otherwise, the ones that were just decent were the only ones I gave a shit about. We got sequel bait. So he knows everything. Somehow. I don't know who he is. Because what he said there is something only like she and the avatars could have known, I think. Or in the Lucas avatar specifically. The table. Eventually. Okay, so this will be post-game at some point. Will we get like actual story shit? I think it's gonna make like paid DLC or something. Be alright, I guess. Okay, so you can just go back, do whatever you want, then take your character. And then skip the final dungeon and then come straight back to here. That's cool. We'll just run around and see what happens. I'm guessing this isn't anything important. Yeah, overall it's a great game. I mean, the fucking hour, the bang for your buck, dude. Holy shit, man! Like fucking, kind of like $16 get this shit. If that, I got like fucking. Like upwards of like, how many hours, man? Let's see it in the save. So I wonder who he's supposed to be. Maybe he's that guy. Technically, he's not around when that dude is. Yeah, 66 to pretty much 100% the thing. I mean, streaming and shit, yeah, that's probably an extra 4 hours of bullshitting around, talking and stuff, but you know, a 50 to 60 something hour game to 100%, pretty good for the price, man. There's more shit I could do, there's more gear to grind and shit, but I mean, for most part, everything's done. There's one quest that was not even finished, which kind of sucked because it was actually a chain that led up to something. Let's see if you can actually do it. I don't think so. It was this, man. You do 4 parts out of 5, and then it's like the rest isn't even there. I guess they're gonna bring it in later, but it's kind of weird. Yeah, the music was really good at the beginning, then it kind of just got mediocre after a bit. But then it kind of came back in the jungle area with the dungeons, and then it kind of went back to being mediocre. It was overall a decent soundtrack. There's a couple keepers, but I didn't stay as solid as I would have liked. Like sometimes I was trying to imitate maybe other RPGs a little too hard, or make the songs kind of fit a theme too much of the area instead of just kind of being good, and it kind of lacked for it. Visually, I think it was fine. There's a decent variety of areas. They looked good for the most part. The portraits were cool. Expressions with the Leia thing were cool. I thought Leia was pretty cool. Enemies looked fine. A lot of bosses looked pretty decent. Can't really complain on that. Story, like I already talked about the story characters. A lot of characters didn't get any depth to them, which character development isn't like necessary, but I mean, character development's an easy way for somebody to get more attached to the story emotionally, so I think that's part of the reason like I wasn't terribly gung-ho until the end about the story, because at that point the only ones who got a lot of development was Leah, Sergey, and then the other employees. Your party members don't get like shit, sadly. I don't know, they're not different from now. At the beginning until now, they're pretty much the same. Spheromancer got maybe a little, because he's not just a rival anymore, but he still acts about the same. He just got like a different respect for you. The French girl, barely. I wouldn't even call it development. I don't need to know what they're like outside of it, but they definitely don't really push anything extra. Would have been cool to see her get back in, but I guess they're continuing it. It was a good enough end. Goda wants her to die at the end. I don't think a sad ending or some ending where things go bad is always better than like a happy one, so I don't really agree there. Whatever is written well is what I want. I don't think one or the other is better. I think you can make a perfectly fine happy ending. This was fine. But it does set up for a kind of like possible, you know, grim-ish ending or self-sacrifice kind of thing, I guess. I could see where you'd want or see it happening. Maybe not want it, but what else with the game? I don't know. It was the reason I'm talking so much about it is it's kind of hard to figure out most of the way through. For a while there, I was like, you know, it's a good game, but it's not like great. But I'd say by the end, it's great. It's good. Not perfect. Definitely some issues, but I'd rather see more games end up like this than a lot of indie ones. Impressive that it gives you that many hours and it isn't just like mindless grindy content. It's good. But I guess that's it for this game for now. If they put out more content, I'll play it. Significant amounts of content. I'm not gonna come back for like an item or a quest. I've had my fill. But we'll start Fist of the North Star next, I guess. So I don't know if I want to take like a few minute break first, maybe. I might, but we do have a lot of games to get through and shit, so I'd like to get started as well. But kind of want to like let it sit. Usually, if I like finish a game and then jump into another one like immediately, the one before didn't really stick with me as long. You know, you just kind of, you know, if you kind of blast out a game out of your mind, you're probably not gonna stick in your memory as much, right? I'll just chill for a minute. I'll get some food or something. What else about the game? Unless we talk about like the dialogue and shit. About the dialogue for like side quests and stuff was mediocre. It's nothing really. I didn't feel any which way about it. There's a lot of referential humor, which I don't think referential humor is bad. I mean, I use it all the time myself, so. I think a lot of referential humor is there in place of something real. I think anything that isn't referential humor is pretty nothing. And even that, like, there's so many references, you're just like, you know, okay. You know, you weren't like, ha every time. Like some of them are funny, like the Cepha Sloth and shit, but you kind of got numb to the amount of fucking references they had. Not a big deal. I'm looking forward to talking to people about it. I don't know how many people have been playing it. I hope a lot. I was relatively hyped during its development, but it's been in development so long. I know Clit's thinking about playing it. Goto's playing it. I'll talk to him about it. You guys enjoyed it a bit. I know it was an extended ass playthrough because of internet shit. I just had busy last week or two. But probably loud as fuck. I hate when people do that. They just like click shit when they're on their mic. I didn't think about it. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's something else I don't want to talk about because it's not just like super clear cut what I think of it. It's pretty different for an indie one, I think. It's the amount going on and shit. At the beginning, I felt like it was really trying to emulate other old RPGs, but by the end, I didn't get that vibe as much. I think it was just like some of the music at the beginning and shit. Oh, that's good. I'm glad it, for the most part, lived up to the hype, I guess. Maybe not hype, but what people people are hyping it up to be. I mean, hype's weird. It's like, is it hype? I mean, my popularity. Sometimes I guess hype means, you know, like its reputation, you know, like as well. People garnered it with a lot of praise when it was in early access, and that's why it's been at the top of my wish list for like ever, you know. I never heard a bad thing about it, and for the most part it lived up to that. I definitely maybe just like where weird points just salty. I don't know. Maybe it's just been all the shit I've been up to lately. Maybe just like prone to being irritable real quick. But I've seen other people play and they get kind of annoyed by some of the same stuff. There's a lot of kind of just like bullshit. It's never like huge, you know. I'm not just like, oh, this fuck, but there's some weird shit. I was getting fucked by that lightning thing earlier. That was more me being a fucking salty bastard, but kind of bullshit, man. It was by far harder than the other ones, but I don't know. I didn't mind that they reused those turrets, but I don't know. The Evotar part before that was way too long. That was a thing with the game. There's parts that are just too long. They go on for too long. Like some quests get like a part 2, and you're just like, you know, some have like extra waves of enemies, and you're like, you know, just kind of like, alright, you know, there's like a sweet spot, you know, like, I mean, you gotta, when you're making a game, I mean, that's a thing, you can't just have something go for 1,000 hours, so like, what's the sweet spot, you know, and I feel like I kind of missed it sometimes on some of the events. Most of the time it was good, though. There was a good variety of gameplay things in the side quests, too, like there's tower defense, and other little mini games. Some of them were kind of shit, like the one where you shoot the ice into the vending machine deal, or the brewer. It's not really a vending machine. It makes drinks. That one was kind of boring, and it got like a bunch of quests. And like the spider one probably didn't need an extra quest, but the obstacle courses were cool, you know. I was glad that there was like significant other content. Like it was fun to 100% it. Even the exploration was good. Damn shame if you play this and you don't explore. I've heard stories of people doing that. They just don't. I mean, that's really fucking dumb, dude. Like, I can understand not doing everything, of course, but there are so many hours and so much effort put into just like the chests. Even if you don't need the rewards from them, the journey is kind of the reward there. And for the most part, I'd say a good 2/3 of the chests are good. They're fun to get. 2/3 of the areas, probably. Some areas don't have a bad chest. So. Anyway, I already got Fist of the North Star already installed and shit, but I kind of want to like take a minute. I'll probably be back in like 10-30 minutes. Gonna go till I drop, I guess. Hopefully the stream quality will keep up. We're losing it on average now 3.3% of the stream at 16,500 frames right now. Over about 5 hours. As long as it just, you know, doesn't look too blurry on screen and movement, we'll just roll with this until I get back.